Yo, welcome to my Sunday scan. This is the Sunday scan for the week of the 29th of September. And let's get started. This one is going to be a little bit different because I didn't have the time to make the scan yesterday. So I'm going to look a little bit, but yeah, I'm not going to focus on too much. I have a couple of names that I have in my mind, and it's going to be the only focus, but I want to make a recap from last week trading setups that I talked about it. Okay, so let's get started with SPY. SPY, if we go to the daily, on the daily we had this little rally. To be honest, let's see how we open on Monday. If we break this support, I see us coming down a little bit, a lot. I see coming down at least at this gap that it was already filled or partial filled. So I see us coming down to the 640s, and yeah. So we broke this trend. We are retesting this trend line here. Let's see if it's gonna reject it or if we gap up and use it as support again. But let me go to the smaller time frame. On the smaller time frame, we had a big rejection here of the trend line, and now we are at the resistance. It's gonna depend on we open on Monday. As I said, if we reject again and coming down, I'm gonna look for this level of 657.36. If we break this level, yeah, we're coming down to the 640s for sure. On the weekly, where we have big volume, let me just, yes, it's better. We had big volume, or kind of a big volume. We had this doji candle at the top. We are showing bigger volumes at the retracements, but this one was different because this one is showing a lot of indecision. So let's see how we open on Monday, and yes, that's the only thing I have to say about SPY. Now let me make a recap, because last week I was focusing on the short side. I was focusing on the financial sector, more in particularly the Bank of America for the short side. We had some kind of consolidation from last week. Let me see the weekly. Yeah, we didn't have any progress. So for the short side, it was not a good opportunity, but SPY was a doji. I said that if the broader market, in particular SPY, was coming down, I was gonna focus on the financial sector. If it was going up, I will focus on the energy sector. As we can see, yeah, we stayed in the doji. We open and close almost on the same place, and yes, the financial sector was a nothing, but the energy sector, more in particularly the XOM, we hit the target as we talked about it. I said it was around this level. This was Monday. I said I want a retest of this trend line, this bigger one, this trend line, a retest, and I will take a long to the gap fill that we had from here with this all this volume, and we had this this gap. It was partial fields here, but I was targeting the gap fill, and we had that on the Friday. On Friday we filled the gap and reject the gap, so it was a good trade. It was a good trade. Now let me just take a look of some names here. Let me check, for example, the staple, the consumer staples sector, because yeah, for me it's done, it's cooked. We got Pep, but yeah, Pep is holding on good, but we need to see a break of this golden pocket here. Until then, or until coming down and use this level as support, I'm not gonna look for it. Crypto, and I had this play here. Let me just show you what I had. I saw this head and shoulder pattern, a break of this neck. I entered short. It took some time, but we come all the way down to the level I was expecting to went. So it was a good trade too. The health sector. The health sector, I want to talk about this one because this one was tough. We had these trades from a couple of weeks, or the week before the last one, and I see this opportunity. We broke this trend line. I was seeing it. It's a little bit messy. Let me just. No. We broke this trend line. I was watching for the retesting as resistance and coming all the way down. We did that. We rejected here. We come down. We went back again, come down, and if I'm not mistaken, I entered here, around here. I can't remember exactly, but I saw this big volume, and yeah, we rejected here, and I think I entered around here. I was expecting a break from here, but we went up. We didn't hold the trend line again. We come down again, but then we had this massive shakeout candle on Monday, and I exit the position on the beginning of the day, to be honest, because we broke above and I closed the position immediately. But we went up for a sweep of the previous highs, but rejected hard and came all the way down. And if we go to the daily, we can see that we never closed above the gap. So I should have held until the end of the day to see how the candle closes, but this massive wick, yeah, it was not worth it, but the play was still in looking good, to be honest. So let's see if we completed the target. I'm not on the play anymore. I exited because I was scared of this big wick. But as you can see, the price is going for at least the close of this gap and maybe test this lower here. Let's see. Now let me check again the Bitcoin and crypto. On crypto we broke this trend line here. This is scary one, because after this one we have this trend line here around the 80s, 90s, so it's a long way down. Let's see if we reclaim this trend line for a higher high maybe. But let me check the crypto miners. We had this good play here, and to be honest, I'm not seeing a good opportunity yet. We had this one. This kind of the volume is ramping up. We had this close here, but to be honest, I'm not interested in this on this play until at least okay, just check one thing. Okay. We held this level. The volume is looking very good, and yeah, I'm not gonna look at this until we reclaim this level here. This use it as support. So I want to see a break with continuous growing volume. I want to see a retest, and then I want to see the break, or maybe this was the retest. I'm gonna wait to see what the chart does, and yeah, crypto is not gonna be my focus. This one is almost breaking out. And now let me talk about the last one that's gonna be my focus for the next week. Intel. We saw that we had this Wyckoff schematic, this accumulation schematic. As you can see, the volume is showing is a clear sign of accumulation. It was a big accumulation. I don't know where it is, but yeah. So it was 1 year and almost half, a little bit more than a year of accumulation. So a big accumulation. We are expecting a big reaction too, because the longer the accumulation schematic, the explosive the price is gonna be, and we saw that. We had this big gap up here. We jumped the creek, and then we retested this gap and gap up again. So now I want to look for I had only shares, but now I'm going to look for a continuation, because if we go to the weekly, we see we had these big candles with big volumes, and I'm expecting a continuation at least until we feel this gap of 43, maybe 41, and after that we don't have nothing, all the all-time highs. So I'm gonna take some calls, and I'm gonna focus this week on this name, but I want to see we see a little bit of exhaustion here, so I want to see it coming down at least until this level. And probably I'm gonna take some calls around this level. It's not financial advice, of course. It's what I'm watching and thinking about doing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. Depends on how the price action is gonna react to this level, but I can see it coming all the way to this, coming down to this level. I want to see low volume and then a bounce to new highs of this schematic, and that is going to be the only focus I will have. This one and GME, but GME already have the position I want to have, but I want to see coming up to the 30th level, and that's my target. So that's all. I don't have much more to say for the next week. Let's see what happens, and yeah, be safe. Let's get some money.